ladies and gents, welcome to the illustrious circuit de Monaco here in the southern tip of France, and what a race today will be. Drivers will need to be on their top form if they want to win today, and the cloudy conditions here in the harbour town of Monte Carlo, they may provide some challenges such as the tyre temperatures and the small possibility of rain. So, we are on the French Riviera once more on the shortest track on the F1 calendar. 2 miles of twists and turns, inches from the barriers is the track that really separates the experienced from the new. The cars climbed 40 metres through Beau Rivage before entering Casino and descending down again towards a tunnel where many watch in awe. That's grid position then, and our third new pole sitter, Robbie Welsh, is in that first grid box, and alongside him, Casper Knopp in that Red Bull. These could be the two drivers that win today, but behind him in the Alfa Romeo, the only one inside the top 10 is Casper Meach, and joined by Joel Foxhall. No change to his grid position from last week. Dylan Hartley with his best ever qualifying. He's in P5, and he's joined by Grizzler Titan, last week's pole sitter. He didn't have a really good race, crashing out in the first lap, but behind them is Andre Abreu and Thomas Salomon, and the other Haas behind them, Matthew Widdowson, P9, and Torben Schutt, the Ferrari's teammate, is 2 grid places behind. Alex Rinser back in P11. He's joined again the AlphaTauri best qualifying Robinson P12, Archie Middlefeld in P13, Ben Mitchell. They switched positions last year. It was last race it was P13, P14, but this year's is P14, P13. Ian Hammore in P15. He's joined by James Wilson, who didn't have a great race last weekend. Adam Forbes P17 and Riley Harper in P18. He's improved on his previous qualifying sessions. Josh Romero in P19 and Max Chapman in P20 after that unfortunate disqualification. It'll be interesting to see who wins. Yeah, and it will be very interesting, won't it? Sam, hello. Welcome to the commentary box, and myself and Sam are going to take you through today's race here in Monte Carlo. What a race it is set to be, and the drivers are just lining up on the grid for their formation lap.
Yeah, definitely. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Monaco for the race. You know, as you said, Monaco is set to be a very exciting and interesting race full of so many different potential things. You know, Monaco holds the record for the fewest finishes in a race. So, you know, that tells you a lot. Monaco, so much can happen. So we can expect some very interesting things today.
I'm not sure if it'll be last week with, 6 or 7 people that DNF'd. I think we ended with 13 drivers, and one of those drivers who actually managed to make it was Robbie, who puts himself on pole position, and on this formation lap, leads them out towards that first corner of Sandervoort.
Yeah, definitely. You know, this first corner of Sandervoort is going to be so important today. These guys do not want to be doing anything crazy. They want to be very sensible. But, you know, these guys, they're very aggressive. They want to push forward. So I do think we'll be expecting some a bit of carnage potentially going into Sandervoort.
We'll see all of the drivers currently who are on that formation lap, except for the Ferraris, the Renault of Middlefeld, and the Racing Point of Wilson. Oh, actually, Harper going for the alternate as well with the hards, but everybody else except for them 4 are on the mediums, and the others are obviously on the softs. But the man at the back of the pack, Chapman, he thinks he can fight all the way from the back, but we know how difficult Monaco is to overtake.
Yeah, definitely. Monaco is probably the hardest track to overtake on the F1 calendar. You know, it's so close. The barriers are so close to the racetrack, it's almost impossible. There is a few opportunities, most notably going into turn 1 into Sandervoort and also the Nouvelle Chicane. We see several overtakes, you know, famously that 2019 battle between Max Verstappen and Lewis Hamilton. A very interesting battle going into the Nouvelle Chicane. So there are opportunities, but they're not.
Oh, I'm not sure what's going on here, but Robbie has gone about 2 minutes in front, but then has decided to stop on the track and cause a yellow flag coming up into the final corner of Raskas. Obviously, the car behind of Casper Knopp has backed the pack up in order to get some sort of tyre temperature advantage, which is very smart of the driver, but Robbie then has to stop on that track, and that's going to mean his tyres are going to be absolutely freezing. But 2 of the drivers already on that grid are not Andre Abreu, is Riley Harper and Josh Romero starting from the back positions. But here, all of the drivers come onto the grid to reform for this race start. And ladies and gentlemen, if you do have the channel points to do so, it's 80 points. Get yourself the Kenco F Lights emo, and we will spam that for the start of the Kenco 2020 because of the game, not because of the Kenco 2020 Monegasque Grand Prix. And what a race it's going to be. Sam, I don't think we're ready for this one.
No, it's going to be so exciting. So much stuff could happen. I do hope it's a great race.
We see the lights on the curved start here down towards Sandefort. And the leader is away down towards that first corner. Kenco lights in the chat. Really, really good start from the Red Bull of Kaspanov, and he's in to the first turn. He is in front, but we've got some cars trailing at the back, and at the back of the pack there's a bit of a squabble. I'm not sure what's going on there, but I think very, very clean first corner.
Yeah, surprisingly, they've got through the first corner pretty well. Max Chapman's still quite far behind, about 1 second behind Riley Harper.
Yeah, absolutely amazing start from Kaspanov there in that Red Bull. He already about half a second in front of the Renault Robbie Welsh, coming down into that Grand Hotel hairpin. What a difficult corner that is. But Kasper Meech is challenging for that second podium position up in P2, and I think there may have been collision at the back with Mitchell and Robinson, but down at the back, and it's so really, and I think that's both of the McLarens colliding through the Grand Hotel hairpin.
Yeah, it looks like through the hairpin they were going so slowly that the drivers went into the back of each other. And it looks like Max Chapman has front wing damage. He's going to have to pit to repair that.
Now, that actually may be advantageous, because here at Monaco, if you pit early, you also have the chance of coming out in front of the people in front of you. So that means that track position is yours, and obviously that's a really big factor here at Monaco.
Yeah, definitely. But as you said, an incredible start to Kaspanov. You know, we had him on the show on Friday, and he said that he would be able to push for this race win, and he started it the way he wanted to. He's in P1, which is such good news for him.
Oh, there's a great fight going on between Salomon and Rinser, but Salomon's in the pits.
I'm not too sure why he's in the pits. Probably something to do with that wing damage going through the hairpin. You know, lots of drivers seem to be going into the back of one another, so it's a real shame for him to have to pit this early. But as you said, the track position is very advantageous around Monaco.
And here we see Wilson trying to make a move on Robinson.
Yeah, you know, they're very close to each other, but, you know, going through Casino is very tricky for these guys to make the overtakes, especially going into the hairpin now. You know, it's the tightest corner on the track. It's almost impossible to overtake. So Jay's also has got to be patient. You know, he's got to go through the tunnel and coming up to the Nouvelle chicane. That's his best bet.
Really interesting, because in that midfield, nobody except for Kaspanov and Robbie Welsh. Oh, there's a safety car because Kaspanov is out of the session. Kaspanov is out of the session. I'm not sure what happened there. Sorry about the graphic at the top. It says that Robbie Welsh has won, but that is not the case. We are only 2 laps into this 39-lap race, but Robbie Welsh is now poised for another win to his name. He's first in the Constructors, and that safety car means that he is P1.
Yeah, it looks like Kaspanov coming off of turn 11 has binned it. You know, he may have got a bit too aggressive on the throttle. I didn't see the crash myself, but that is such a shame. You know, just a few laps ago, we were complimenting him on his great start. I mean, that is such a shame for him.
Oh, and we see Widderson losing his rear there through Anthony Nogues and all. I mean, I was just about to say, even though it's one of the tightest tracks on the calendar, it's been one of the cleanest couple first laps.
Yeah, it was pretty good. You know, I wasn't expecting these guys to be that clean, but they were very good. You know, no dive bombs into turn 1. They were pretty sensible, which is really good to see. You know, we want great racing here, and we got that today. But it's such a shame for Kaspanov to DNF that early. He got such a great start beating Robbie to P1.
And we said in that intro, he was one of the people who were definitely poised to win, weren't they? I mean, Robbie Welsh now has to have this in hand. I'm not sure about Kasper Meech. She's gone for the alternate strategy we are hearing from the Alfa Romeo garage. We'll hear what's gone on with him. But, yeah, definitely poised for Foxhall, Meech and Welsh. And Foxhall, unfortunately, had his win taken away from him a couple weeks prior. But is it time for him to shine again?
You know, this is going to fill Robbie with so much confidence. He's in P1 under the safety car. He has restarted. We saw that a few races ago in China, I believe. He has restarted under the safety car. He's used to this. So he's got that in hand. But, you know, we know how aggressive Kasper Meech is, and obviously Joel Foxhall in that racing point. Kasper Meech will want to be able to get that win today. We've seen him do it in Bahrain in one of the best wins so far in the league, I would say. But, yeah.
We've just had information from Race Control that Riley Harper, down in P19, has just received a 3-second time penalty for his collision with one of the McLarens under the safety car. So that's unfortunate for him. But down through Beau Rivage, you just see how steep this incline is coming up that hill.
Yeah, definitely. As you said in the intro, about 40-meter incline, which is a pretty decent amount. But these F1 cars take it like chance. But yeah, that is a very significant incline, and if you were walking that, you definitely feel it. But yeah, these are very powerful turbo hybrid engines are very easily getting up that hill today.
And the car with that time penalty has come into the pits to fit the hard tyres. So could that be an alternate strategy that we are going to look him try to go to the end? I mean, 35 laps on those hards is really, really pushing it.
Yeah, that's going to take some very strong tyre conservation from that Williams driver. But he is the only one alongside Ben Mitchell in that Mercedes to have a time penalty. Ben Mitchell has a 5-second time penalty, I believe. But yeah, he's on those hard tyres now, that Williams driver of Riley. So we'll have to see what he can do. P19 at the moment, about 15 seconds off the pack, but he should be able to get in just behind Max Chapman.
And even though, just hear me out here, even though Max Chapman didn't have the greatest of starts, he's still poised to be up into that midfield by the safety car restart. We know his pace is immaculate, and even though it's not the greatest for overtaking around here in Monaco, he could be the one to set himself through that field. Will the safety car lights extinguish here through Raskas? They stay on, so there's another lap of the safety car.
Yeah, the safety car's going around one more time. Obviously, that crash of Casper Knopp was in quite a precarious position, so they want to make sure that car is out of the way. But yeah, so many opportunities now for these drivers with the safety car out, as you said. So many different people, and you know, Dylan Hartley in P4 in that AlphaTauri, that's a really good position to be in. He's only P4, that's very close to the front, but as we said so many times, it's very, very tricky to overtake around Monaco, so it's going to take some real skill and some very, very impressive overtakes for these drivers to take that win from Robbie at the moment.
Yeah, Casper Knopp, I don't know, did it look like it was any sort of mechanical issue? Obviously, we didn't get any footage of it from the Skypad, but I don't know about you. From your perspective, did you see him have any mechanical issues, or was it just he lost his rear into the Nouvelle?
No, to be honest with you, I wasn't on riding on board with him. He was he had such a good start. He had about a 1.5 second lead to Robbie, that he was doing so well that I didn't think I would have to ride on board with him. But I think it was just coming out of turn 11, maybe got on the throttle a bit too much, and he unfortunately spun and hit the right barrier, and yeah, his front right wheel was completely off his car.
Now, this is poised the Renault boys for an absolutely amazing opportunity. We've got one of them in P1 looking to win yet another race, one of them in P8, so both of them in the points, and the only other competitor is in P2, so that could be good for him, but Robbie Welsh is going to have to restart the safety car. The lights have gone out, which means he will be backing up that pack, but he doesn't want to back it up much. He's going to be stuck on a limiter through Raskas, unfortunately, as he gets too close to the safety car. That means he's not going to be able to push as hard as he's going to want to through Anthony Noakes. He's still going to have the car behind him. Oh, he's lost the rear through Anthony Noakes, but that means he's going to have a really bad restart. Casper Meach is going to look down to go down the inside, and the green flag is now shown as and the cars are racing back after that safety car. The top four have got an absolutely amazing start, but behind them, the Ferrari of Titan and Andre Abreu have just gone so far behind, they haven't been able to push.
Yeah, Robbie really caught after the front four off guard, but he did not have the restart he wanted. He caught a bit of openness there coming off of Anthony Noakes, and yeah, that was not the restart. Casper Meach looked like he was really strong, but Robbie did manage to defend him off, and Casper Meach didn't decide to do anything into Sanderbot.
The one thing that we did say is that, that down here at Monaco, no matter where you are on the track, that hairpin bunches the pack up and means that effectively is a small little safety car that you can get back to your rival. And Casper Meach really late onto that brakes. Really nice helicopter shot there through the Nouvelle chicane. Obviously, they had to put that in because the cars were becoming too quick and dangerous for this track. But through to back, really, really nice line there for Robbie. And he's already pulling away the seconds, even though he didn't get the great restart.
Yeah, it looks like Casper Meach got very close to that barrier there as well. He wouldn't want to touch that. He doesn't want to take any of his front wing off. He needs as much downforce going around Monaco. You guys can see how twisty it is, so you want as much downforce on the car as possible.
Robbie Welsh really pushing, but Andre Abreu, we did say that he was stuck in some sort of collision because he's back down in P9, P10, P11, he's in the pits.
Yeah, he must have had a poor restart, probably some sort of incident involved his front wing being taken off, which is a shame for him, but you know, we've seen time and time again with Andre Abreu and that Williams that he likes to go with several pit stops in this race, so we'll have to see whether that plays out in Monaco.
really benefits the Williams team, their several pit stop strategy. But AlphaTauri have two of their drivers in a really good position. Robinson, he hasn't gained any positions or lost any. He's maintained his grid position, and Hartley, he's gained one as well. So is he poised for that third podium place here at the hardest overtaking track in the calendar?
Yeah, coming up to the Nouvelle Chicane, Hartley's in a really good position, not too far behind Vauxhall, and when that DRS does become enabled, he will be within that range. He's looking very good at the moment in P4, just behind those podium positions. But yeah, as you said, Robinson in P12 in that AlphaTauri, he's on those hard tyres, so he's going to go for that longer run. You know, everyone around him is on a softer compound, so there's no wonder that he hasn't been able to overtake in the first 7 laps.
And someone else has got a time penalty. We are just getting the message that Alex Rinser, P8 from Race Control, has set that time penalty on board with Casper Meach in P2 into Sandoval. Oh, just so close behind him up Beauvirage. He's going to lose about 6/10 from that corner. Really nice run from him. He's using all of his electricity, the ERS system, the energy recovery system, which turns the braking power of thermal energy and kinetic energy into chemical and electrical energy, which they can then use again for kinetic energy to deploy on that lap, and Casper Meach using the full extent of that to chase down the Renault who is in front of them.
Yeah, Casper Meach is getting very close, you know, going through the Grand Hotel hairpin, they're so close. I do think Casper Meach is going to be able to make an overtake soon, but coming out of that corner there, Robbie got such a good run. He got great traction coming off the exit. That Renault setup looking very good today. It's
as though the Renault is not as quick in a straight line, but through the corners, the exits, he's just so much better. Does that something to do with the differential? Obviously, the Alfa Romeo driver can change that on the fly, but in obviously notches of 5, but they have to change them simultaneously, whereas with the Renault, has he just got a better setup overall? And another time penalty has been handed out. We said that this is going to be bad. It's Ian Hammore, the man in P11. He's just on the cusp of the points, and Chapman's up in P14.
Yeah, very nicely done from Chapman. He's been quietly getting...
Oh, sorry to interrupt you, but that's Thomas Salomon. He's spun round in the middle of Nouvelle Chicane. I'm not too sure what happened there, but that means Andre Abreu is going to try and make a move on Amara. Oh, and Andre Abreu has made collision with Josh Amara. That may be a time penalty, and both of them have lost portions of their wing.
Yeah, that's a shame. Oh, going through Subical Chicane, Andre gets very close to the back of Josh Amara as well. Yeah, it looks like Andre may want to come in again, and he does. You know, he's just been in the pits. We have spoken about that multiple pit stop strategy from that Williams team, but he doesn't want that. He doesn't want to come into the pits 1 lap after he's just replaced that front wing. So that's a real shame for him. But yeah, going back... Sorry, go on.
Sorry, no, you go ahead.
Going back to that Renault setup, looks like Robbie has some really good... having some really good exits out of the corners, which is really important, and that is giving him the edge at the moment over Casper Meach.
It's really interesting because it seems it's the same every week, but different people, the top 5, just seem to run away with it, and that's evident with the 15-second gap between P5 and P6. So really interesting to see who would get that third podium position. But down in P9, Alex Rinser getting out of the way of Torben Schutt. He's trying to come around him. That's a really good stuff there from the Ferrari driver.
Yeah, very nice stuff. And another notable mention, I think, P6, that Haas driver of Matt Widdowson. You know, he's our latest recruit. He had that test run round here for the tryouts, and he did win that, and it was a very impressive win. So it's good to see him up in P6, but, you know, as you said, he's about 10 seconds off Titan, let alone P1, so he's quite far back, but it's still good to see him in P6 at the moment on those soft tyres.
If we look on the tyre strategy as well, we can see it's really playing into the soft players' hands, with P5 through P8 already making it up into the points positions just because of those soft tyres. But in P4, Dylan Hartley really starting to fall back on those medium yellow mark tyres.
Yeah, definitely. You know, these are 9-lap-old tyres now on that AlphaTauri. You know, the medium compound is much more harder wearing than that of the soft tyre, but after a while that will wear off. But yeah, as you said, Titan behind him is on those soft tyres, so he's going to be pushing as hard as he can. But, you know, after 9 laps, we can expect those soft tyres to start dropping off soon.
And the guy who has won pretty much every race, except for the ones that Robbie Welsh, the man in P1, has won, that is Max Chapman, and he's in P14. What do you think of that?
Yeah, P14 is a great effort from him, obviously starting right at the back. To have gained 6 positions is a great effort, you know, let alone we're at Monaco. Obviously, he's gained 1 because of that retirement from Casper Knott, but even so, 5 positions gain is great, and I think we're going to see an overtake going to Sam de Vos potentially. He's very close to the back of Ben in that Mercedes.
Yeah, I'm not sure. We're trying to go on board with him, but It's just a little bit too difficult there. There we go, P12. We are on board with that man, and just tell us what you are doing if you are him.
Well, you know, he's getting very close. He's side by side with that Mercedes going through Beau Rivage. They're so close, but Max Chapman gets it done going up that hill, that 40-meter incline. He's got it nice and done, that Ferrari engine powering him to overtake him there. Some really nice stuff from Max Chapman. Now he's on to his next target. He's in P11 now, so that's really good stuff from him. I'm not too sure what's happened. I think we've had some pit stops from various people, the likes of Matt in that Haas and Archie Middelfelt in the Renault. But yeah, really good stuff from Max. He's now in P11, just one position away from the points. He's obviously on those hard tyres, so he's going to go for that longer stint. But yeah, he's just half a second behind of Jay Robinson in that AlphaTauri going towards the Nouvelle Chicane. A bit too far back there, but you know, he's going to retain that slipstream going through the next few corners coming up to the swimming pool chicane. He's going to have a really good advantage, and if we think going towards the start-finish straight as well, he's going to have that DRS powering towards Sandoval. He could get an overtake done. We'll have to wait and see what he can do.
Oh, really, really tight there, and that means he's brake checked him, and he's lost a bit of his front wing, but unfortunately for him, that means he may need to box, and that's going to compromise his race strategy. But about 10 laps after the incident, we're going to get a team radio from the Red Bull garage. Obviously, we saw him crash out, so Casper Knopp on the team radio.
What a fucking joke with this all the time, man. I'm so sorry, guys.
He was definitely in line to win this Grand Prix, and it's a big, big shame for him because, like we said, he could have won it.
Yeah, definitely. That is a real shame for Casper Knopp. He sounds so disappointed, and understandably so. As you said, he was in line to win this. He had an incredible start, but it just wasn't meant to be today. And he'll learn from that. He'll take that into future races, no doubt. And yeah, such a shame for him, though. That was...
Sorry, Adam Forbes. Yeah, Adam Forbes got a 10-second time penalty, which is normally assigned if you cut the Nouvelle Chicane. I'm not too sure what went on, but 10-second time penalty, cutting the Nouvelle Chicane. Do you think he may have just missed his braking point and gone straight into that barrier? Oh, no, there he is. There he is through swimming pool.
Yeah, potentially some sort of issue with his brakes for Adam Forbes. That's a shame for him, but we've got another safety car. Lap 13, we're on to another safety car. I wonder what this will cause in terms of pit stops. You know, we've got
Max
quite
Chapman.
a few people on the soft tyres still.
Max Chapman, we did see, and he's staying out. Obviously, sorry to interrupt you, but he lost a bit of his wing, and that means he could have gone into the pits. But the second safety car in this race, lap 13, for this Alfa Romeo driver, I think it's just an end plate. I mean, he could do, but he's put himself into P8 because other people are doing their pit stops.
Yeah, definitely. And at the start of the show, the first thing we said was how important track position is around Monaco. And to be honest, if that front wing damage is not affecting him too badly, staying out is probably the best plan of action for him. He's on those hard tyres. They can go so much further than 13 laps. So, you know, we'll have to see what he can do. He's going through the hairpin at the moment. But under the safety car conditions, so all the drivers are going to go in the same speed. They're going to catch up to the pack, and we'll have to see who is going to make good of this safety car period.
This is going to be super advantageous now. I mean, Meech is in the pits, Hartley's in the pits. They both have about a 20-second gap to the car behind, so they're going to stay in those top 4 positions, and they've got a free pit stop.
Yeah, definitely. Casper Meech is replacing that front wing. He must have picked up some sort of damage, maybe touched the wing going a bit fast through certain corners. But Dylan Hartley has actually jumped him because of that front wing change from Meech. So Dylan Hartley is in P3 at the moment. We'll have to see what Meech will do to respond to that. You know, obviously, there's nothing he could do. He had to replace that front wing. As we've said, you want as much downforce as possible going around Monaco. But yeah, Hartley in P3, he's going to be very strong. He can defend very aggressively going the next few laps. They're both on those hard tyres. They're going to be going on into the race. Robbie and Joel Fox are still on those mediums, those 13-lap-old mediums. So we can expect them to come in soon, no doubt. We'll have to see what the plan of action is for that. For those two drivers going forward.
I'm not sure I saw this right. Casper Meech got undercut into the pits by Dylan Hartley.
Yeah.
I mean, Casper Meech was in front. Did he just forget to make up his mind? But we are on board with... Oh, sorry, not on board. We have got a team radio from the AlphaTauri garage with Dylan Hartley about whether he can win this race.
If we push now, we can get him. So push.
Yes, that is push from the AlphaTauri garage. They want this win. They want this win, Tom.
Yeah, definitely. It was, I think Casper Meech replaced his front wing in the pits, but you know, it doesn't matter. Dylan Hartley still has that track position. He's in P3. He's on those hard tyres. He's looking very strong. He could push Joel Foxall and Robbie Welsh very hard, and they'll have to pit. They're going to have to pit at some point, and I don't know why they didn't pit under the safety car period, because as soon as they decide to pit, the pack is going to be...
Well, they still would have had
bumped up
track
so much
position,
more.
wouldn't they? They would still have track position, so
Yeah.
they would lose nothing.
I really don't know why they didn't decide to pit. Maybe we could have a chat with the Racing Point garage, but that's a real shame. I don't know why, but that could potentially cost Robbie Welch the win today. And as we said, Dylan Hartley in P3 now, he's got that jump on Casper Meech. He's looking really strong.
Yeah, I mean, like, you said he's got track position, Dylan Hartley, and you're absolutely right with that, but there is traffic in front. Is that either Abreu or Harper is in front of the AlphaTauri. That means on the restart, he's going to have to get out the way.
Yeah, we did see that in Spain, I believe, with Adam in the McLaren getting in the way as well, which is not good for any of the drivers. That Williams driver of, I believe it's Harper, he's not going to want to have to pull out as soon as the restart happens, but unfortunately, I don't think the safety car is letting lap cars through.
Yeah, well, that's one of the big issues here at Monaco. There is not much room for the drivers to warm their tyres and let the cars through, but the safety car lights have not extinguished, which means we're around for another lap.
Another lap under the safety car. They're obviously trying to make sure that there is no debris left on the track from that McLaren incident that involved Adam Forbes. But yeah, another lap under the safety car, another lap for these guys to try and keep their tyres up to temperature. But I'm still so surprised that Robbie and Joel have decided to not pit. But, you know, they might prove us wrong.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be really interesting with that top four now. Casper Meech has lost a position, but, I mean, I suppose he has a wing, which means he'll be quicker.
Yeah, definitely. It was definitely the right decision for Casper Meech to take that front wing. You know, as we've said, like, we're going to sound like a broken record, but downforce is so important, and he needed as much as possible. So yeah, that was probably the best decision for that Alfa Romeo team to get the front wing. But you know, whether or not that front wing damage that Casper Meech has made on his car will cost him the win today was another question.
Well, we've had one team radio from a crashed car, obviously Casper Knopp, and we're going to get another team radio from the McLaren garage team radio.
Yeah, that went really badly. I just couldn't steer. Well, look at the data.
Yeah, that's really important. Obviously, they said they'll look at the telemetry. What does that quite mean, Sam?
Well, that probably leads to something more mechanical. I was speaking to Adam before the race, and there was a few issues on his car, something to do with his steering wheel. So, yeah, that could be the cause of his incident today, which is a real shame, you know, if that was completely out of his hands. But the safety lights have extinguished, and we can expect a restart, hopefully a better one from Robbie.
Yeah, I mean, sorry, just a very crucial point of the race to say this, but if it's something that is mechanical, that means that Amara may have it too, and that means that he may be doomed also. But on the safety car, hey, he's in the pits. Robbie Welch gets a brilliant start down no rear end through here. Joel Foxall gets an absolutely amazing start as well, and the green flag is shown now on that pit straight. Joel Foxall into stand avoid, just got on the inside. Joel Foxall hits the wall. And that's Abreu who's gone into the wall. There's no safety car, just a yellow flag. Abreu has gone into the wall, or is that Harper? I think it may have been Harper. And there's a time penalty for one of the drivers, but Robbie Welch is up about 5/10 in front. Archie Middlewell, his teammate, he's also got a time penalty, and Harper is out. Harper is out that session because of that damage sustained in turn one. Is that going to be another safety car? No, it's not. Hartley, Meech, Foxall, and Welsh, they're all in the top four. They're looking for that podium position, and Hanmore up in P6. He's quite a way behind.
Yeah, that Williams got right in the way, and I think he got hit by one of them. But yeah, it's a shame for him. He's have to DNF because of that damage, as you said. But a much better restart from Robbie in that Renault, and he's got nearly a 10th lead on Foxall already. But Hartley so close to Foxall, just about half a second behind. And he's on those newer hard tyres, so we'll have to see what Hartley can do. He's going to need to push as much as possible because Casper Meech behind is so close.
Yeah, and Casper Meech, he's got the pace, and so has Hartley. They've both got brand new hard tyres. So they're going to want to go to the end. There's about 22 laps to go, and those hard tyres can definitely make it. But the two cars in front on this medium still have to pit. That means effectively Hartley is in P1.
Yeah, definitely. When Robbie and Joel pit, Hartley will be in P1 at the moment, unless Kasper Meach can get past him. Kasper Meach is very close to Hartley, and Hartley does look like he's dropping back slightly from Foxhall, which is a real shame for him. We may have just had a scrappy turn one, but yeah, Kasper Meach is looking very, very strong behind Hartley. They're both on same age tyres, so yeah, we'll have to see what Kasper Meach can do, but he's going to want to get past, because he knows that once he gets past Hartley, the two guys in front of him have to pit.
What a redemption story this is from the other Alfa Romeo. He's gone from last position up to 7th.
Yeah, really great stuff from Chapman. Obviously, he hasn't pit yet, so he's benefited from all those others pitting around him. But, track position so important around Monaco, as we've said plenty of times before. P7 looking very strong at the moment. He's going to probably think of coming in very soon, but, those hard tyres could go much further than 16 laps. Hard to see when he thinks the right time is to come in.
And just to calm things down a little, because, oh my god, that safety car restart was amazing. I mean, we're just going to have to think about what Chapman's going to do, because he's still got that wing damage.
Yeah, he may potentially be suffering slightly, because it looks like James Wilson behind him in that racing point is very, very close to the back of him. But yeah, that front wing damage may have got slightly worse, or he's just really struggling with it. We'll have to wait and see. But when he pits, no doubt he'll replace that front wing.
But up in the lead once again, AlphaTauri of Dylan Hartley is fending off the Alfa Romeo absolutely superbly. There's made absolutely no gains on that driver.
They're definitely not going through the hairpin. There's going to be no attempts from overtake from Meach there. That is a very risky place to do it. But going through Portier, coming towards the tunnel, the Turn 9 tunnel, the very famous tunnel of Monaco, coming towards the Nouvelle chicane. Looks like Meach is a bit too far back to make a move there. But he's getting very, very close to Sector 1, but potentially, again, just not getting the drive out of the corners that he wants compared to other drivers.
Now, once again, P1 through P4 have just absolutely run away with it. P6 is 10 seconds behind, and Schutt is 8 seconds behind them. So, I mean, if we look at Hartley and Meach, they're really poised in terms of pit stop strategy.
Yeah, definitely. They're on the same strategy. Obviously, we saw that Hartley got past Meach because he did replace his front wing in the pits. But yeah, Hartley's looking very strong at the moment. But Kasper Meach again going to Sandoval, so close.
What's the strategy around here in terms of, obviously, you don't want people to overtake? Is it just park your car in the middle of the track, or to take the inside line?
Yeah, definitely. You can defend very aggressively because it's such a narrow track. You can just, as you said, park your car in the middle of the track and yeah, make it the widest F1 car possible. But yeah, Hartley's doing a really great job trying to fend off that position. But as long as he's defending from behind, he's losing time in front. Vauxhall has got about 1.3 second ahead of Hartley at the moment, so that means Hartley is out of DRS range, whereas Kasper Meach behind him is in DRS, so that's a massive thing for Hartley.
And I mean, it's only one DRS zone. Does it really make that big of a difference? Obviously, it's on that pit straight, so you've really got to make the move done before Sandoval, otherwise you've basically lost your advantage.
Well, considering Sandoval turn 1 is probably the best place for overtaking, I would say it's a huge thing. Getting that DRS going to start finish straight, getting that extra miles per hour down the straight is so important for Meach, and he will get DRS now. DRS has been enabled since the safety car period. Is he too far back to get it done this lap? I think he is.
Absolutely stellar stuff from the AlphaTauri just to keep him behind. I mean, it's one thing to defend your position, it's another thing to gain 3/10 on a straight with a car behind that has DRS.
Yeah, really good stuff. Obviously, not as much downforce compared to the Alfa Romeo on his setup this week, which is obviously paying dividends to him.
Down at P9, the Mercedes of Hanmore, he's just up 3 positions. I'm not sure what that is of cause of. He's let all 3 cars past to some sort of wing damage, but Max Chapman up in P6 already. He's fighting. He could come back for this podium.
Yeah, Chapman looking very strong at the moment, but still behind. There's a train forming. He's obviously getting very aggressive with his defending, and he's keeping those cars behind, but Wilson is so close. I mean, and he's on those faster medium tyres, and they're much younger than his hard tyres, so he's going to be wanting to get past so badly. But Chapman, yet again, doing a stellar job with his defending around Monaco.
There's a plethora of reasons as to why Chapman should not be in the position as he is. And oh, there's some wing of a racing point there in the middle of the track, and if Chapman ran over that, that could have been devastating. We saw a puncture from the AlphaTauri, who is currently in P3 back in Zandvoort, which threw him out of this race, and that could put him out of contention.
Yeah, it looks like Joel has actually made a mistake, and Hartley is so close. He might be able to get it done and go through Beau Rivage.
Oh, really blocking him. Yeah, that's the wing we were on about. Joel going through Beau Rivage. Absolutely beautiful stuff here from Dylan Hartley. We go on board through Casino. He's just so tight and so cautious on that throw, but that means Joel is probably going to have to box this lap. That means Dylan Hartley being promoted into P2 down through Mirabeau. He comes down to the Grand Hotel hairpin. Now through here, he has a really tight line, but still can't get as much. Through Mirabeau, Bass down towards Portier. Now onto the Casino. And there's a time penalty for Andre Abreu down in P16. He's not having a good race, but Dylan Hartley is having a good race down into this Nouvelle chicane. He takes it really nice and tight. Beautiful line through them. There's a big train beginning to form in the middle, and a big train beginning to form in P2.
Yeah, Joel Foxall has made a mistake on his lap, and he has lost so much time. Hartley is so close. He's so close to that of Foxall that he's in that DRS range, which is so important for his fight against Meech behind him. And Foxall does come in, and he does get clipped
There was a
slightly
bit.
by,
There was a bit of a tap. There was a bit of a tap. Does that mean Hartley has any damage? Can we see? Can we try and get a view on that?
Doesn't look like he's any damage going into turn 1. No, it looks like he's okay, but that was a little tap from Hartley. Joel obviously braked quite a bit because he was coming into the pit lane, but Hartley wasn't expecting that, I don't think. But yet again, Hartley is down in that same position. Casper Meech behind him, about half a second behind. He's got that DRS, whereas Hartley hasn't. So that is so important for Meech, and we'll have to see whether now is the chance he can get it done.
Well, she's going to be the one who is absolutely kicking himself, because I presume the reason they've stayed out is because he thinks he can get the tyre advantage to gain 20 seconds, but currently there's only 4 seconds between them, so go ahead and talk us through one of Hartley's laps.
Yeah, Hartley got very deep going into the hairpin. I thought he was going to hit the wall, but luckily he just missed it going towards the Nouvelle chicane. Very nicely done. You don't want to get too aggressive on that curve that you just got over, because you know, you get penalties for those track limits. But going up towards swimming pool, again, some really great stuff. Very close to that barrier on the right. You know, perfectly done for him. But Meech behind him again. Looks like he's actually lost some time. Yeah, Meech has lost some time, and he will not be getting DRS.
Yeah, that's out of DRS range. That's beautiful stuff for Hartley. That means he can propel himself even further.
Yeah, that lap was riding a border from there. He would be doing some great lines through those very tight corners, getting as close to the barrier as possible, which means, you know, you're making the corner as wide as possible, and you're able to power through those corners. So some really good driving from Hartley, and he's got a huge advantage to Meech now, nearly 2 seconds.
We're seeing some of the first regulation pit stops. The Haas of of Widderson comes into the pits, replaces those soft tyres for the mediums. I'm surprised the softs have lasted this long.
Yeah, definitely. I am surprised too. You know, we're on lap 24. Those drivers are going to be suffering, but yeah, we are still yet to see when Robbie in P1 at the moment decides to pit, but Hartley is only 5 seconds.
Oh, sorry,
behind.
we went on board with Meech. Casper Meech had spun it through the Nouvelle chicane and resetting the track. That's a little bit illegitimate of the driver there, but maybe he wanted to get as quick as he can, but he's 8 seconds behind Hartley. Hartley has got such a big advantage to the car behind, and that is really damaged. Casper Meech took a little bit of front wing damage as well, but his rear tyre coming through the Nouvelle chicane, tapping it on the exit, and oh, that means Schutt is coming for the P3 position. Oh my goodness, Monaco, what a race today is.
I can't help but feel that moment there has cost Casper the win today. He is now 7 seconds behind Hartley, you know, and he's got that damage to his front wing. I can't see him recovering from that.
There's a time penalty for one of the drivers. It's Chrysler Titan down in P11. He's currently got the fastest lap, but he needs to make up 1 position for that to count. Joel Foxall has made it up to P9. It's a really good overtake from him, but Salomon's got it back, and because he's in the pits, unfortunately.
Yeah. I'm shocked to see that mistake from Meech. That's a real shame from him, and he's going to have some serious wing damage from that. But now Hartley behind, sorry, not Hartley, Charlie behind in that Ferrari. So close, you know. He's on 22 lap old mediums, but Charlie will want to capitalize on this situation and that mistake from Meech. He has a chance of his first podium today.
I'm not sure what happened with Schutt as well. He's dropped back about 2 seconds, so maybe a mistake through there. But Chapman already up into the Nouvelle chicane. He's only about 10 seconds behind Schutt, so absolutely good driving from here. But we'll just go ahead and once again watch the replay of what happened to Casper Meech. So we are on board with him through the exit. Oh yeah, he just clips his rear left. His rear left through the exit, and yeah, as we said, resetting back to that track. It's a little bit sad, but there, yeah, just so close to the car, just so close to the car behind.
Yeah. Definitely, we were just talking about how Hartley has been able to get so close to the barriers and gaining as much time as possible, but it looks like Casper Meech in that Alfa Romeo got a bit too close to the barrier and his rear wheel tapped it and it spun him right round. So that's a real shame for him. He's in P3 still, but he has probably got some front wing damage here. Looks like some front left end plate damage. It might not be affecting him too much. We'll have to see whether it has.
Just to quickly, does this mean that Hartley then can let off? Is he now able to take the tyre wear a little bit more serious and go for it? If we do look at the Amazon Web Services widget, he's got about 80% tyre life on all of the tyres except his rear left is 79. So yeah, 80% tyre life on pretty much all his tyres.
Yeah, he is in a very good position. You know, we know that Robbie's still got to pit. He's on 25 lap old mediums is Robbie at the moment, so he's definitely got to pit. And you know, there's that mandatory pit stop and that mandatory change of compound in F1. So Hartley, you know, I was not expecting him to look this strong, but at this stage of the race, he's looking very strong to get that win today, which is incredible stuff for him.
And that amazing widget, yeah, we see Robbie Welsh's tyres. If we just pull that up once again, Robbie Welsh's tyres, 45% tyre life left in those tyres. So what does that mean? 40% tyre. He's currently about 60% wear. At 70%, it starts to get risk of punctures. So is he going to come in soon? But Hartley, you could tell the tyre wear is really affecting Welsh because he's 3 seconds behind Hartley is.
Yeah, Robbie is definitely going to consider pitting soon. Those medium tyres has done about 26 laps now, which is a very significant range for them. He's obviously potentially actually going to stretch it and potentially go onto that soft tyre, which obviously will make him very quick towards the end of the Grand Prix, which he needs because he knows he's going to have to fight back and get into that P1. He's going to have to get through the likes of Hartley and Casper Meech definitely at the moment.
And all of the drivers are a little bit spaced out. I mean, except for P8, P9, and P10, they're all a little bit spaced out. I mean, the few of them just coming through Portier into the tunnel. Yeah, just a little bit spaced out. But Joel Foxhall really feeling the effects of that wing damage he took. And down in P13, it's unfortunate for him. He had the race in his hands.
Yeah, most definitely. We know how strong Foxhall was at the start of this race. He was in those podium positions. So he was fighting for P2 for such a while, but obviously he had to come in to pit to get that mandatory compound change. But that has really affected his race. You know, down in P13, he's 8.5 seconds behind Matt in P12. So yeah, he's very far back at the moment, which is a real shame for him. But that mistake that we saw from him has probably cost him a podium today.
And we were talking about that mandatory pit stop, so just tell us what that's about, because currently P7 and P1 still have not pitted.
Yeah, obviously P7, Ian Hanmore in that Mercedes, and P1, obviously Robbie Welsh and that Renault have not pit yet, but there is a stipulation in Formula 1 that you have to run at least 2 different compounds in the race as long as the race is dry.
Robbie Welsh is pitted, Robbie Welsh is pitted. Just a little info for you there. We'll see what tyres he goes on, but currently on board with Amara. Oh, and Ben Mitchell who spun. Ben Mitchell just spun as you would think he was trying to go into the pit lane, but it's overcooked in. Dylan Hartley is up in P1, number 9, and that means Casper Meech is up into P2 as well. And Torben Schutt will probably be there as well. Robbie Welsh is on that pit exit. We did see here before in Monaco the Red Bull of Ricardo, and there's a big collision, and Robbie Welsh has lost a portion of his front wing because of Torben Schutt, who just got a little bit greedy on that track on the pit exit, and Robbie Welsh has got wing damage. That's really not played into his hands because he's just fitted the soft tyres, presumably to go for fastest lap.
Wow, yeah, that was so close between him and the Ferrari, and it looks like, as you said, the Ferrari got a bit too aggressive on that white line.
And there's a virtual safety car. That's really good for Dylan Hartley. If it was a full safety car, his lead would have been diminished to the car behind of Casper Meech. But all of the drivers who exceed that time or exceed that pace delta will receive a drive-through penalty. So just go and keep us updated on that one there, please, Sam, because we cannot get that until you've got the information. But really, really good for him, but I'm not sure what that was due to. Was that due to Mitchell, who crashed out the pits, or was it Widdowson, who's currently just lost 2 positions?
Yeah, I really don't know why that safe. Sorry.
Hang
that
on, sorry,
virtual safety car-
just to interrupt. Yeah, I think I've just answered my own question. We've just gone just gone to the cameras on Widdowson, and yeah, his entire front wing portion is gone.
Yeah, that is probably the reason then. They are trying to clear that debris off the track, understandably. But, wow, Robbie Welsh in P4 has gone onto those soft tyres as I has suspected. But yeah, that front wing damage is going to really affect him, but he's so close to Torben Schut.
Oh, and they collide again. They collide coming through. Beau Rivage just wheel to wheel. Absolutely, really, really, really close racing here. And Robbie is through, but it doesn't seem as if the wing damage has affected him. It really should have, but really, really, really tight there. And Robbie is about 8 seconds behind Dylan.
Yeah, those soft tyres are proving really good. A really good idea from that Renault team to go on those soft tyres. Obviously, they've only been around one lap at the moment, so they're very new. So I have to see whether they can last the end of the race. But he's so close to Kasper Meach now. He's gained about a second going through the hairpin alone. We know that Kasper Meach has that damage. So we'll have to see whether he can get a move done on Kasper Meach. He's so strong. He's going so quickly at the moment. One of the fastest guys on the track.
Can you just notify us of, obviously, the drive-through situation? We did say anybody who went faster than the Delta got a drive-through penalty. Was there anybody who did that?
I have not got any on my screen, no. I will let you know if that changes. But yeah, under this virtual safety car, all the drivers did stay within that, oh my god, I can't speak, that stipulated lap time. But looks like Kasper Meach has actually just got a penalty, a 3-second penalty for Kasper Meach in P2. I'm
not sure that was for, probably for cutting or trying to avoid the car of Widdowson, who's just come out of the pits. But oh, there's a full safety car. No, for Dylan Hartley, that is absolutely horrible. But is he going to have chance? 10 seconds is not enough time for a pit stop. Dylan Hartley is going to be crying because that is a chance for him to, yeah, that was his chance, and Titan is out the session. Oh no. Oh no, Dylan, he has to pit. If he doesn't pit, then if he doesn't pit, then he can't win this race.
Yeah, what a shame for Dylan Hartley. No, he's still in P1 at the moment. We're not discounting that he's going to be able to get that win. But Robbie Welsh in P3, this safety car period is going to be helping him conserve those soft tyres. But interestingly enough, you know, that 3-second penalty for Kasper Meach now may even cost him P2 because, oh yeah, Hartley does come in for the pits. We'll have to see
smart decision there. Sorry to interrupt. Smart decision from Hartley. Smart decision.
Yeah. Soft tyres, understandably. But he's going to have to replace his front wing.
No, that's not good for him. I don't know why that was, but Robbie Welsh is also coming to the pits to replace his front wing, so that is really, really advantageous for Hartley.
Yeah, Kasper Meach has also come in. Doesn't look like he's going to be replacing his front wing, interestingly enough. Oh, no, it looks like he is. So our top 3 have had to come in and replace that front wing.
Well, Torben Schut is up in P1, but he's on old medium tyres. So we did see that Kasper Meach also had that time penalty. Was it a 3-second time penalty he got?
Yeah, he did get a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings, but he may have actually...
You cannot serve a 3-second time penalty in the pits, by the way, just so you know. You cannot serve 3 seconds.
I was just going to say that, but he obviously didn't. So that 3 second is going to be added to his overall race time. So that may cost him a podium position, you know. Hartley's still P2, Kasper Meach P3, and Robbie Welsh P4. But yeah, Torben Schut in P1, he's already made that mandatory pit stop. He's on those 29-lap-old mediums, but he's looking very strong at the moment. And yet again, that our favourite phrase of today, no doubt, track position, P1. He's looking very strong, you know. Again, another surprising potential winner today. I wouldn't have predicted that. But yeah, Dylan Hartley and Kasper Meach and Robbie Welsh on those fresh soft tyres, they're going to be so strong. So it's going to be really hard for Torben Schut to keep them behind.
Torben Schut has absolutely great pace, but this is just not what Dylan Hartley wanted. This race was his to lose, and I mean, I think it still is his to lose because those brand new soft tyres have just such a big advantage.
Yeah, definitely. I think Hartley will be more than capable of getting a move done on Charlie. As we said, those medium tyres are so old, and considering the 3 guys behind him are on fresh soft, it's going to be a real task for him to keep those 3 behind. But Hartley is going to be going ultra aggressive on this restart. He knows is going to get a much better traction coming out of turn 18 on those soft tyres compared to those medium tyres. So it's all down to Hartley to have a really good restart now and get back in that P1 position.
Everybody on that grid except Schutz, Foxhole, and Abreu were on the soft tyres, and that's a smart decision from everybody on that grid. And it just really depends upon how good Schutz can hold up that car of the AlphaTauri. And I mean, if you're Dylan, you want that Williams that is behind him to cause some sort of kerfuffle or get in the way, which means that they can't go.
Yeah, definitely, and we did see that with the other Williams, obviously at the previous restart. He did cause a little crash, and that did make some drivers lose some time. So yeah, that's really interesting actually. I didn't pick that up, but yeah, Kastelmich has got that traffic in front of him, which is a massive advantage to Hartley on this restart.
Yeah, I mean, in real life, it would be an even bigger advantage. I mean, obviously, currently, if he collides with him, he gets a 5-second time penalty because he is not ghosted. But as soon as that safety car goes, he ghosts and he can go straight through him. Not big fan of that, but, you know, it is one thing that it sort of needs to happen around a track like Monaco. But Dylan Hartley, well, I don't see him struggling. He's a very calm, collected man.
Yeah, definitely. He is so close to getting this win today, and what an amazing thing it would be to see Hartley get a win around Monaco. Such a special track to get a win around. But I think we're going for another lap onto the safety car. It's obviously wanting to stay out for another lap.
That's gonna be really punishing for the soft tire runners, because obviously the activation range for them, and they've been warming their tires up on that lap, which drastically removes tire wear. So yeah, I mean, they want to keep it as clinical as possible.
I'm really shocked that the safety car's gone around another lap, but you know, they know best, obviously. But as you said, yeah, those soft tyre runners, they're not going to want to take any life out of those soft tyres as possible. They want them to be in the best condition possible, and especially Hartley. You know, this is his race. You know, obviously Charlie is in P1 at the moment, but he is on those now 31-lap-old medians. So, yeah, I think Hartley is looking very, very strong at the moment. Obviously, Andre Abreu, that Williams is in front of Kastelmich, so he's going to be really punished by that on the restart. But also, we have to remember that Kastelmich does have that 3-second penalty. So unless he can pull away by about 3 seconds, the car behind him will take his position.
And just all of the drivers have kept it really clinical, obviously. We've had a few outs, but not as many as last week, and that's a good stuff for all of these drivers. But if we just look at the absolute pace of these guys, it's been 34, coming up on 35 laps of such a difficult track, and only four retirees, and about 45 minutes that these drivers have had to sustain, like 5G turns through like Portier and Beau Rivage. It's just absolutely physically draining.
Definitely, and the safety car lights have been extinguished, so we are going to be going racing this lap. Charlie is going to have the restart now.
You want to go ahead and lead this one off?
Yeah, definitely. This is Hartley's opportunity to get a move done on Torben Schutz in that Ferrari. They're getting very close going through Raskas, but Charlie is going to bolt very soon, and he does. Hartley is very close to him. He's going towards turn 1. He's going to get a really good opportunity to overtake, but does look like he's a bit too far back going into Sandoval. Yeah, he's a bit too far back, but going up this massive hill going towards Beau Rivage, Hartley does have a really good opportunity to get a jump on this Ferrari. They're getting very close. Very, very, very close going through Massenet, but a bit too far back still. But, you know, in his mind, Hartley knows that he's coming up towards the tunnel, and that Nouvelle chicane is a great opportunity for overtaking. He's got to sustain this really, really good stuff, this really good pace going through the hairpin, and stay as close as possible to that Ferrari.
Yeah, just take us on what you would do if you were Dylan right now.
You know, this is so much pressure on Dylan at the moment. He's got that Williams bothering him at the moment, obviously that lap car, but he's getting so close going through the tunnel, going towards the Nouvelle chicane. Is he going to get a move done? No. Charlie, some great defending going towards the Nouvelle chicane, but he locked up all of his tyres there, did Charlie, going towards that Nouvelle chicane. But yeah, Hartley is so close.
This is crazy stuff. There's a train of about 5 cars coming through swimming pool right now. This is absolutely amazing stuff. And Robbie Welsh is just offset him there. Oh, but the blue flag is just shown. Andre needs to yield that position. He's going to get in the way of the other drivers. This is really unsafe.
Yeah, Andre is right in the way of all those other drivers. Hartley is a bit too far back, coming off of Anthony knows he didn't have as good an exit as Torben Schutt did, but coming up towards Beau Rivage again, he's so close. He's going to get that slipstream going up the hill, but again, still too far back.
This is just like first lap action. This all 6 drivers in the top spot are so close, and Dylan Hartley might send it down the inside. Coming up to Mirabahort. No, oh, brilliant job there from Torben Schutt, but Robbie Welch has managed to get through Casper Meech, and Robbie Welch and Casper Meech has sent one down the inside. Casper Meech has tried to go down the inside of the Grand Hotel hairpin.
Yeah, that was very bold stuff, but to be fair, there wasn't too much contact between. Oh, and I think Casper Meech just hit the wall.
Walk us through there, because I think that was his teammate that hit him.
Yeah, I'm not too sure what happened, but Max Chapman up into P4 now. I mean, what a drive from Max Chapman. He has got, obviously, jumped the gun on his teammate. I think his teammate Casper Meech did make a mistake, but we have to remember that Casper Meech has got that 3-second time penalty, and it looks like he has damaged the front wing. This is going to really affect the result of his race today.
I mean, is there anything to lose for him now? He's got to full send it.
No, definitely. Well, this is Charles Leclerc-esque in 2019, obviously. Charles Leclerc 2019, his first race for Ferrari going around Monaco, he did send it very much so on that day. So that is what Casper Meech has to do. But going on to lap 37 now, Dylan Hartley still hasn't managed to jump the gun on Charlie. But, you know, he is on those very new soft tyres versus Charlie on those very old mediums. It's just a matter of time for Hartley to get this overtake done.
We've seen this done before, where one of the Alfa Romeos has gone last to first, and Dylan Hartley is trying to defend from Max Chapman, who's gone down the inside, and oh, really heavy on the braking there from Torben Schutt. These tyres cannot sustain that, but Torben Schutt is up into the final, is up into the final couple laps, and he's leading through tunnel. Comes Dylan Hartley down the inside. They're going to get really close down into the Nouvelle Chicane. If there's going to be a move, this is where it's got to happen. Dylan Hartley going to go down the inside. No, he's going to back out, because if you get stuck between the wall, you can lose your front wing or even a wheel. But oh my god, the racing between these guys is so tight. And who is that that's just got time penalty? That is Andre Abreu in that Williams.
Max Chapman up into P3. I mean, that is incredible stuff. A great move done on that Renault driver. But yeah, Chapman now is looking for the win, or potentially even, sorry, he's looking for P2 and potentially even the win. And
that was a really dirty move from Robbie Welch going down the inside there. But yeah, Max Chapman back down into P5.
Hartley is so close, he might get the move done going into Sandoval, but again, still too far back.
Oh,
I thought that was his opportunity.
This tyre wear is ridiculous, and Dylan Hartley going round the outside through Beau Rivage. It's a really ballsy move from him, coming through here. Oh, he's so close, but so far.
Oh my god, it keeps happening, getting so close, but going up to Beau Rivage, he was so close there. But Robbie West says it down.
This is dirty from Robbie. Robbie needs to yield that position. This is dirty.
Yeah, I don't know what Robbie's doing there, to be honest. This is really affecting both of their races. Hartley, going through the hairpin, has lost out to Robbie by the looks of it. I'm not too sure about that overtake there from Robbie. We'll have to look at that after the race. That's a real shame for Hartley.
August 3, mate.
Yeah, obviously Robbie up into P2 now at the moment. He's so close to Torben Schutt. Oh no, he spins him round. Robbie spins Torben Schutt round, and Hartley is the lead. And Max Chapman is just retired as well.
Oh my god, and Dylan Hartley is in the lead of this race, but did he get a penalty because of that? No, I don't think he did, but Joel Foxhall back up into P3. What is going on here at Monaco?
Going into that Nouvelle Chicane, Robbie hits the back of Torben Schutt, spun him round, and then Max Chapman on the exit lost his wheel, and he's now retired. He's looking so strong. But as we said, Hartley back into P1.
And Hartley on the final lap leads through Beau Rivage. This is where we saw him almost overtake Torben Schutt. And Torben Schutt, oh, he lost it, but Archie Middlefeld, the other Renault's now into the final podium position. Casper Meech is up into P4. George Foxhall in P2. Oh, the alternate strategy has worked treats, but Dylan Hartley is a mile ahead. He just needs to compose himself, keep himself safe, and he is the third winner of the Kenco Formula 1 Championship of 2020. Dylan Hartley come through Mirabeau Bass in towards the casino. It just needs to keep it absolutely clinical here for him. Joel Foxhall's back in P2. He's just come from Portier into the tunnel, and Middlefeld is right behind him. He wants that position. Casper Meech. Sorry, I'm just stuck for words here. Casper Meech, who last lap we saw get that wing damage. He has no wing whatsoever coming into the Nouvelle Chicane. But Dylan Hartley comes through to back into the swimming pool chicane. Oh, it's been an absolutely eventful race through Oh, here he comes through the final couple corners, through Raskas, through Anthony Noakes, Dylan Hartley, champion of the Monaco Grand Prix.
Wow. Oh my god, what a race. Dylan Hartley P1. Incredible drive for him today, and so deserved.
Vauxhall in P2, and on the final straight, who is that? It's Welsh in P4, Salaman P5, Shot P6, P7 is Hanmore, Meach down to P8 because of that time penalty, Robinson in P9, so 2 points finishes, and P1 for the AlphaTauri team.
Yeah, great stuff. I think it's 4th new winner so far. Dylan Hartley won Monaco from P5, I believe.
It was a very Ricciardo-esque drive, wasn't it? Late on the brakes
definitely.
at every corner, and we know Ricciardo has won this before, and wow, beautiful stuff. But Robbie Welsh probably has something to say. His dirty driving, well, sort of caught up in the end when he spun Torben Schutt out, trying to go for a move down the inside that really wasn't there, and yeah, Torben Schutt, unlucky for him that Welsh has ruined his race.
Yeah, definitely. Some very aggressive driver from certain drivers today. But yeah, I mean, it's incredible that Joel, we were talking about him being down in P13. He had potentially thrown away his race, but P2 today for him is incredible stuff. And I'm really happy to see the podium today. I think it's a really great podium and well deserved from all of the drivers. Some great driving out there today.
Absolutely amazing Grand Prix. So if you do have the emote, go ahead put Kenco F lights. If you do have the emote, go ahead and put Kenco F flag. If you are a tier 2 sub, you get that. If you're a tier 3 sub, you also get ping. But yeah, we'll go ahead and try and get some words from some of the drivers.
Hello.
Yeah, what a beautiful race you had, Dylan, and it was there for you for the taking until that safety car came out, wasn't it? And then what were you
Which
thinking?
one?
Just well, the last one when you're in P1
last one,
you were in P1 by a very substantial margin. The man
Yeah.
behind Robbie Welsh, he had significant wing damage, but just tell us what you were thinking.
Well, as soon as the safety car came out, I was boxing for softs. I don't care if I lose track position because I knew I'd only go down to P2 or P3 max. And I knew with these softs, I knew the people that were in P1 and P2 wouldn't have boxed yet, as Charlie hasn't boxed. He was really on 30 lap old mediums, I believe. So I just overtook him in the tunnel. Wait, no, not on the DRS straight. Sorry, I can't remember where I overtook him now. But
I think you overtook him into Nouvelle because Robbie Welsh made a really questionable decision to go down the inside.
yes, I saw I needed to avoid I needed to obviously cut the chicane so I'd avoid it getting messed up in all that.
Yeah, you were really lucky not to get a penalty there. I mean, obviously it wasn't being your fault, but yeah.
I was literally I was thinking I was going to get a penalty. To be fair, I crossed it. I was like, oh please don't.
Yeah, but I mean, you had to do
the
it.
game understood me.
You had to do it, and I think that was probably, other than, I think that was probably the most deserved, deserved. Oh, I just can't speak. Yes, the most deserved win because you just fought from the start.
Yeah, I mean, on the first lap, I didn't gain any positions. Then on the first safety car, I actually gained 1 position in the pits. I don't know what happened there.
Who would have thought from last week? Where did you finish? Was it P7?
7th.
Yeah, P7. That this week you would be the champion, and what good how I just can't speak because I'm absolutely elated, and I'm sure you are too. But
yeah,
how does it feel to know that you are the best of the rest?
Amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, our strategy worked out perfectly. Those safety cars helped our strategy quite a bit. It just all worked out.
Sam, have you got anything to add?
No, just a great win. Really well deserved. I'm so glad you did retain that win because it got very hectic out there, but you were definitely the most deserving guy for that win today, I think.
I was struggling to pass Charlie at the end there. But
Yeah, it was getting so close.
I only had
Yeah.
like 3 laps left, and I was getting But then I think
Yeah.
Robbie spanned Charlie into the Nouvelle. and
Yeah, I
then-
mean, it was just a really late dive bomb. I think he was trying to do what you were doing, and you did it beautifully, and he didn't, obviously. But just whilst we're here, Dylan,
Yes.
we're also gonna present you the Driver of the Day award because, yeah, you've also won that because everybody in the
Oh.
chat has said you had an absolutely brilliant drive, and I think I agree with them, Sam.
Yeah, definitely. And
Amazing.
just incredible race for you today, and yeah, very, very well deserved drive of the day.
Thank you.
And well done for Dylan on your win.
Much appreciated.
Go enjoy it.
Will do.
And another driver who I think he actually came P3 or P2 in the end. Joel Limol, Joel Foxall. Brilliant drive from you, sir.
Thank you. It was quite an interesting one. I'm really happy with the result. I generally think it couldn't have gone much better, but it was just kind of luck at the end. There was just obviously some racing that is just interesting, and it definitely won me about 4 positions on the last or the second last lap.
Now, you may not want to share on what's gone on, but what did you think to Robbie Welsh? Obviously, on that safety car restart, he got an absolutely amazing restart, but then down the inside, started to get a little bit aggressive and a little bit dirty? I don't know if I want to use that word, but a little bit, he's pushing the rules. What do you think to that?
Yeah, I'm not too sure what happened. I know there was the Nouvelle chicane incident. I never really got time to see that. All I know is there was probably 2 cars that were just stopped in the chicane, the entry to it, and then that obviously gave Casper a wing in like a broken wing. I think it just completely went for him, and I was unlucky enough to also lose the front left of my wing to Casper, which obviously he just had that just stopped because of the damage he got. And I think it was definitely something that will be looked at. It whether or not it's fair or not, I personally think it really affected people's races. Charlie, obviously, he had a really good race, and if nothing happened that race, I think he really could have won. But obviously, Dylan came out on top, and really well deserved from Dylan, and driver of the day as well, very well deserved. I'm really happy for him.
You came P2 in the end?
Yeah, I think it wasn't ideal. I really think I could have won. I think many different people could have won. I was unfortunate enough I came out behind some drivers after my first pit stop. Unfortunately, I made a mistake, and obviously that's going to happen. I lost my wing, so I was forced to the box earlier than I would have liked. And then I came out on hards. The next lap, unfortunately, just got squeezed into a wall by one of the Alpha Tauris. And yeah, I lost my wing again, so that just forced me back into the pits for mediums, and then I was just out until then. I did tap the wall and lose some of my wing, but that was nothing to put me off for the rest of the race to box.
Yeah, from myself, it was an absolutely commanding drive from you, and if anything, it's vindication from what happened last week.
Yeah, absolutely devastated from last week, but that happens, and we're through that. That's in the past. We don't look back on that. That's just one of the things that happens. But I am determined as ever to come back and win. I'm close enough today. Monaco is one of my favorite tracks, unpopular opinion, but I really think there's some tracks that are coming forward to that I'm really going to excel on that I enjoy. And from after next week, Azerbaijan, definitely not one of my favorite tracks. I'm looking forward to the calendar and to hopefully claim some more podiums.
Yeah, I mean, another street circuit just like Monaco, and oh wow, you did absolutely stellar job.
Thank you. Yeah, like I said, Baku is street circuit. It's very similar but very indifferent to more different to Monaco in areas with 90-degree turns, long straights. So setup will be hard to find, but if we get that sweet spot and I can really practice on it well enough, then I think I'm hopefully gonna pull out well. But I definitely think it's not going to be my week next week.
Have you got anything to add, Sam?
No, just best of luck for you during this week. Preparing for Baku, but again, really well done at Monaco. Great drive from you today.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate that.
Yeah, thank you very much for joining us, and we're just going to have and try and get a final word from the two Alfa Romeos. They both had a shot at the final podium positions, but in that last couple laps, yeah, it just all fell apart. But well done to Joel, well done to Dylan, and we will get the word from Max Chapman and Casper Meach here. They're again coming together, and wow, I mean, it was really unfortunate the way that your race ended, Max.
Yeah, you know, these things happen. Very frustrating. I came from last, put the hards on in the second lap under the safety car, stretched them to, I don't know, lap 30, and then pitted under the safety car again. Had a great restart, overtook Nuts on the restart, and then, well, let's just say, got squeezed into the wall.
What actually happened? You said you got squeezed, but what actually happened to that? Because was it Robbie Welsh? I think we saw Robbie Welsh.
So I saw that, I don't know if it was Robbie or Dylan, but one of them took out Charlie into the chicane, so I had nowhere
Yeah, it
to
was
go, so
Robbie.
I had to-
Robbie tried to dive bomb down the inside when he was about 30 meters behind.
Yeah, I had to avoid it, so I went off. Dylan was obviously off in front of me as well as he cut the chicane. And as he came back on, he sort of squeezed me into the wall, and then I hit my left front, and it just
Obviously,
disappeared.
no malicious there from Dylan. I'm sure.
No, no.
And Casper, your race as well, mate. You were so close, but then I think you also got squeezed and lost your front wing portion too.
Yeah, I mean, it all started on lap 5, really, when I had a clear chance to pass Robbie going to the lead, and I just got blocked on the straight. I had to brake, and that was my chances to go into P1 over. And then me and Dylan, obviously, both on the Premier strategy when we boxed under the safety car, and I was getting stuck behind Dylan for so long, and I made that mistake because he was putting the pressure on fair to him, and I made that mistake, and then it was just a bit of a mess from there, getting dive bombed multiple times by the same car. It really didn't end well.
How does this affect you now? Because obviously Robbie Welsh has dropped down that standings on that final lap, and that meant that Casper, you were up into P6, I think, by the end, was it?
Oh, I actually ended up P8.
Oh, P8. And was that due to that incident at the Nouvelle?
Yes, it was. I got another penalty, time penalty for track limits there. And that basically put me P8. It would have been about P5, P6, I think. But in my opinion, there's some people up there in the standings that didn't race very cleanly at all today.
Yeah, and I think the stewards will definitely have to have a look at that. And what's your take on the overall outcome of the race? Do you think it went well for you guys, or?
I don't think the standings represent it really. I think me and Dylan were both on the Premier strategy. We could have, well, me and Dylan probably could have been right up there. Obviously, Dylan was, but when you have some drivers driving like that, it's never going to end well.
Yeah, don't really have much to say. Just extremely disappointed in what happened. Casper did well, pitted at the right time, was on the right strategy, just had to pass Dylan to obviously get into the lead. But yeah, I'm just extremely annoyed because I came from last. And
yeah, I think I would be as well if
so
you've
close.
gone, if another Alfa Romeo drive from last, well, to first. I mean, you weren't really first, but to the front. Yeah, absolutely stellar drive. Sam, have you got anything to add?
No, great stuff from you both today. It's a shame that you lost out positions through no fault of your own. But yeah, I guess that's just racing, and today was a pretty crazy race. But yeah, nicely done, and hope to see that in the future.
Thank you
Thanks,
both for
guys.
joining.
Thank you.
Yeah, and I think that is gonna be it for us today. And a new day, a new winner. And what's your take? I think it's just all been an absolute cluster biff, and my mind has been blown.
Yeah, that second week in a row, it's been an absolutely incredible race. Monaco always, always throws up so many different things, and yeah, it didn't disappoint today. It's been a really, really enjoyable race to watch and commentate on, and I do hope you all enjoyed it as well. And I think Dylan, our driver of the day, and a great and well-deserved winner.
Yeah, so from myself and from Sam, see you later, guys. See ya. Maybe I should put it to the ending screen, that might be a good idea.
Welsh are going to kill those, which they are.